So, there's this manga that I really like and I wanted to talk about it. It follows Kokoro, a high school student, and she's Ooh. So anyways, it follows Kokoro, an exemplary high school student who is apparently getting bullied by a newly transferred student, Reina. She does things like scribble compliments on her desk, then throw it out the window, call her ugly, and then call her ugly again when she tries to confront her. Play a prank on her at night by calling her pretending to be Marisan and knocking on the door like she's got a warrant. And even kicking her friend, Riku. Nice. And they're not the only ones either. She also bullied another very ugly student, which she bullied so hard that she disappeared into nothingness. And it's not her first time doing stuff like this, as the girl in this bathroom style on her previous school will tell you. Shower scene. One day, Kokoro plans to stay a night at Riku's house to help her relax, since she's not been feeling well and has been waking up in weird places. But before she can get back to her house, Riku disappears. She goes to look for her and finds her in a place she mentioned earlier, looking at the moon. She then rips her clothes off and turns into a wolf. Hot. So she attacks Kokoro. She manages to hide, not for long, but just when she's about to attack again, Reina appears. She already knew that Riku was a werewolf, and she's got the perfect weapon to deal with one. So she punches her. Thanks to that, Riku starts coming back to her senses. So she starts punching her again, just in case. She then puts a necklace on her, and continues beating the living hell out of her until she's unconscious, just to make sure. Hot. Sometime later, Riku wakes up. Nice. And they start explaining to her what happened, and then show her a picture of her after getting beat up. Hot. Reina seems to know a bit too much about this paranormal business, so Kokoro asks her just who she is, to which Reina replies that she's an exorcist. Which explains everything, really. The writings on the desk were Michael formation. Of course, since an ugly bastard was following Kokoro. She slept in the next week, but he still came back. So she threw the desk out the window. The girl that she threw water on, Hanako-san. She was very persistent. The one she was calling ugly wasn't Kokoro. It was the wandering spirit of a student. The ugly one. The reason she was in front of Kokoro's house at night, she followed Mari-san there, then proceeded to fold her like an omelette. Of course, all this was shown earlier in the manga. I just omitted it. Heh. Also, the reason she kept kicking Riku's ass was because werewolves grew out tails there. She didn't check with her hands. That would be gay. After this whole thing is over, Kokoro seems to understand Reina a bit better, so she decides to look out for her. And she basically becomes her mom. Anyways, those were only the first few chapters of this manga, and you can get a pretty good idea of what it's about. The main appeal of this manga is looking at a girl punching ghosts. Not to be confused with ghosts punching girls or ghost girls punching. Completely different concepts. This one is also partly a horror manga, when it calls for it. And goddamn it does the mangaka, Oto-sama, know how to draw some terrifying stuff. Just don't expect it to go horror all the way. Speaking in general, Oto-sama's art is very nice. That's it. I don't know what art, so I can really talk about that. But here are some panels that I like. In terms of story and characters, the story is what you'd expect. Bullying ghosts, doing Japanese high schooler stuff and all that jazz. Well, almost never taking itself too seriously, barring a couple of instances, but I'm not going to spoil. I really like the characters. There's a scammer, the scammer's mom, a wolf tomboy, a femboy, and a femboy. Also some others like a scammer's housekeeper, and this guy. He's a bit of a weirdo. Also tomboy. It reminds me somewhat of a certain other manga. Maybe it's the humor or the paranormal stuff. You most likely already know which one that is. This one isn't as popular as that one, at least in the West, if these stats don't lie to me, which is unfortunate since I think it's really good. But I don't think it matters at this point, since it finished in October 2021 with 71 chapters. 70 of them are unofficially translated to English, and still ongoing. but there's no official release as far as I can tell. It's got one in German though, if you're interested. I forgot to mention it, but this manga is called Furyou Taimashi Reina, or Bad Girl Exorcist Reina, or something like that. At the time of writing this, there's been no sign of Otosama working on another manga, as far as his Twitter shows. He seemed very active there, but he drew less, which is nice. Anyways, I really like this manga. I give it a tomboy out of 10. Read it. See ya.